Alright guys, so there's a bunch of cool things going on here with this guitar. So this guitar is another one of the Angelo Batio series of guitars from Sawtooth. I checked out one in the past that was like a satin black finish with no trim. Really budget friendly guitar. It was like 250 bucks, right around there. This one here, as you can see, is Floyd Rose equipped. And this is basically just a stripped down, balls to the wall shred guitar at a price that's just kind of unbelievable when you think about what you're getting. Anyway, there's a lot to get into here. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay guys, so I think this is, I believe, the third Sawtooth guitar that I've checked out here on the Guitar Max channel, and the second Sawtooth guitar from the Angelo Batio series of guitars. Now, there's a few kind of really key points about this guitar that I want to tell you about right off the bat, and then we'll get into a little bit more of the specs and of course the sound demo in just a few minutes here. First of all, the big thing here is the bridge on this guitar. Not only is this, I should say this is not just a Floyd Rose style bridge. It's not like a licensed trim or something. This is a made in Germany original Floyd Rose bridge. And this is on a guitar that costs less than $500, which is absurd. It's the only guitar that, it's the only guitar period in that price range that has basically the best Floyd Rose that you can get. Now, I have to admit, I was actually skeptical when I got this guitar. I almost thought that there was some kind of mistake in the marketing material, like somebody who didn't understand the differences between the bridges had written the ad or something like that. I'm like, if that's the case, then basically the bridge is like half the cost of the guitar, which is crazy. But this is an actual made in Germany original Floyd Rose, OFR. Now, the deal with the Floyd Rose bridges is basically the three common types. There's like low pros and 7 strings and things like that, but basically you're going to find a Floyd Rose Special, a Floyd Rose 1000 series, which is basically like the standard Floyd Rose, and then the OFR, the original Floyd Rose. Technically, the Floyd Rose 1000 series and the OFR, original Floyd Rose, are supposed to be made to the exact same specs. One is made in South Korea, the 1000 series, and the OFR is made in Germany. Now, there is actually, they are made to this, exact same dimensions and all that stuff, but there is actually a way to tell the difference just by looking at them, and that has to do with the saddles. Now, I'm going to give you some close-ups here, because that's really the only way to see it. If you look on the back of the saddle on the original Floyd Rose, it has a 90-degree angle there, just the corner on the back of the saddle. It's a 90-degree corner. Now, if you look on a Floyd Rose 1000 series bridge, this is my Kramer, the Tracy Guns signature, and this has the 1000 series bridge. Still says, says Floyd Rose. It's not a Floyd Rose Special. It's not licensed or anything. Again, Floyd Rose 1000 series is typically what you would get on a guitar with the Floyd Rose. But if you look at the back of the saddle here, it's got a little angle on it, okay? That's really the only obvious visual difference between a 1000 series bridge and an OFR original Floyd Rose bridge. So if you're looking at it, if you look for that little angle there, that angle on a Floyd Rose bridge generally means it's a 1000 series bridge. Okay, so I apologize for getting technical there, but sometimes we do that. But the deal is, that's the nicest, like the highest end Floyd Rose bridge that you can get. And it comes on a guitar that costs $450. This guitar, it's basically around $500. If you buy just the guitar itself, just the guitar on its own, it's like $449. If you buy it with like the gig bag kit and all that stuff, then it's like $550. So it's right in that price range, except there is a little trick that I used recently to get this guitar for less than $400. And I want to tell you about this, but let me preface this by saying, well, a couple things. One is, Sawtooth is not paying me. They didn't give me this guitar. I bought this guitar. So I don't have any affiliation with Sawtooth. The other thing is the little trick I use. I don't know how long this is going to be good for. I don't know if this is going to work a year from now or 6 months from now or what. Okay, so here's the deal. Go DPS, which is the company that has the Sawtooth brand, has an app that you can download on your phone. And they've got some cool things on there, like, you know, you can watch videos from some of the artists that have endorsement deals with Sawtooth and things like that on there. But also you can shop through the app, and you can buy, you can buy stuff. You can buy guitars through the app. So this guitar was $449 to begin with, which is already a stupid price. Then on top of that, because I used the app, I got 20% off. So again, I don't know if that's a temporary thing. It didn't say it was, but I don't know if it's like, you know, a promotional thing or what. So my apologies if you're watching this like a year in the future and it's not there anymore. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. But it works right now, and that's how I was able to get this guitar for just a ridiculously low price. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this guitar. So you've got the centerpiece, the original Floyd Rose. You've got a maple neck. It's a sandalwood fretboard. Very nice. Sandalwood fretboard with 24 frets. These are like medium jumbo frets. They're finished really, really nicely. You know, they're medium jumbo, so these are not like massive, tall frets, but they're great frets for, shred guitar, any rock guitar, whatever. Very responsive. Again, 24 frets. It's a 15-inch radius on the fretboard. Now up here, we've got a set of Wilkinson tuners. As far as the controls and electronics, very straightforward. It's very simple, straightforward shred guitar. 3-way blade type switch, and a single volume and a single tone. Now I did look in the control cavity. These are full-size pots, and then the pickups here, these are the Sawtooth proprietary brand of pickups. So again, 3-way toggle switch, or blade type switch I should say, single volume, single tone, Floyd Rose, humbuckers, bolt-on maple neck, plug it in and rock. Now, I think I know how they were able to manufacture this, so inexpensively, where they can sell it for the price, even with the nice hardware and everything. I think that's basically just on the finish. This is a very, very basic finish. It's hard to see on, obviously it's like a satin white finish, and it's hard to see on the camera, but it has almost like a hammered kind of look to it, if you know what I mean. Like it's slightly textured. But yeah, it's very, very simple finish, but beyond that, it's very well done. And under that finish is a basswood body. So that's pretty much the specs of the guitar. Oh, it's a 25.5-inch scale length, like you'd expect to find on a super strat type guitar. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really straightforward. Again, very stripped down, great hardware. Very good build quality. I mean, it's, again, the frets are finished really nicely and everything. Good action, that kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, I know you want to hear the bridge and the guitar in general in action, so we'll go ahead and plug it in. I'm going to use my Fender GTX 100 amplifier over there. It's got a really nice variety of tones, so I'll give you a bunch of different tones. And of course, some shredding. Now, real quick, guys, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool, affordable guitars, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and plug this in and shred. All right, guys, so again, this is the Sawtooth ST-M24. And on one hand, it's a very simple guitar, simple controls, very plain finish, but it's sort of a blank canvas of a guitar. I like to think of it that way. You know, if you had like, if you wanted to do some custom paint or something like that on this guitar, it would be a perfect candidate for it because obviously the guitar itself and the hardware and the wood is already really good. And then, you know, you can do whatever paint job you want on it. Or you can just keep it simply as it is, the satin white finish. It's kind of a sleeper of a guitar in car terms, if you guys know what I mean. Now, as far as the playability, I mean, this guitar plays fantastic. The bridge is awesome. There's one thing in particular that always bugs me about cheaper bridges, and that is that sometimes the arms don't fit really snug in the collar. And so it's like, you know, it'll have like a rattle to it or something. This one here, though, being that this is, you know, the really nice German-made high-end one, it's just perfectly machined. It's tight right in there. It doesn't slap or clank or make any ugly noises or anything like that. Very precise. You know, you can do very nuanced movements with it and everything, and it responds really nice. And of course, it holds the tuning perfectly. Also, the other big advantage on the high-end bridges is the fine tuners are just silky smooth. You know, some of the cheap bridges, you'd be turning these tuners and it feels like you're grinding new threads in there or something like that. These are just like, you know, just a little bit of, it's super smooth. Now, there's one more thing I want to mention as far as the specs of the guitar, and that is the neck shape. It feels like kind of a blend of a C and a D shape. It's thin-ish, like a D, like a flat D, but at the same time, it's got a little bit less of a shoulder here and a little more rounded in the back, like you would expect on a C shape. But it's not like a full C shape. So yeah, it's kind of a blend between a C and a D shape. And it's not like super thin, like, you know, Ibanez Wizard thin or anything like that. But, you know, it's also not like the, you know, Les Paul baseball bat neck or something. It's a nice kind of comfortable blended neck shape. And I think that neck shape combined with the 15-inch fretboard radius, which makes it a very flat fretboard, and the frets that are finished very nicely, and it's a very shreddable, very responsive guitar. So again, guys, that is the guitar. Another one of the triumphs of modern guitar manufacturing from the minds over at Sawtooth and Angelo Batio. Right on. If you're looking for a Floyd Rose equipped shred guitar, this is going to be really hard to beat. Okay, guys, as usual, I'm going to put links for all kinds of stuff I was talking about in the video down in the video description below. I will have a link for this guitar. I'll try to put a link down there for the app. You know, if you're watching on a computer, I don't know how well that's going to work, but I'll do my best. And I'll also have a link for like the amp and also the backing track that I used in the video. That's from the Backing Tracks by Tim channel. And I'll also have, you know, my instructional materials and social media and all that fun stuff down in the video description below. All right, guys, thanks a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.